Hi, and welcome to this tutorial of how to use the Beulaville Eye Care website. We're going to dive right in and show you how to use it. The great thing is it's built on the Weebly platform, so it's very easy to log in, to make changes, and basically what you see is what you get when you're using Weebly. Everything is a click and drag platform, so it makes it very simple to make updates and changes to the website. So we'll go ahead and get logged in. Basically what you do whenever you're ready to log in and make the changes is you'll go to BeulavilleEyeCare.com but put /login. Once you sign in, you'll actually come into a sign-in screen that's got the Loggerhead Designs logo on it. And in this case, we're going to use info@BeulavilleEyeCare.com, and then you'll use the password that has been emailed to you. And if you'd like, you can click to remember you on the computer once you're using it in your office. Alright, once we get logged in, you'll come into a screen that looks similar to this. Basically, it's not quite as in-depth as Google Analytics, but this is some of the statistics for your website. It shows the top views this month, what pages basically were looked at the most. And also you can click on to see how many unique visitors appeared in a day. So in this case, on May 31st, you had 34 individual different unique visitors that were from different web addresses. If you ever want to update your password or any information like that, you'll click on that Account tab, and you can change the password, the email, or the full name on the account. Now, if any time that you get stuck in this video, the great thing is you'll be able to pause it, fast forward, rewind. But if you do get stuck in a situation where the video is not really explaining what you need, just give us a call, or you can drop us an email at support@loggerheaddesigns.net. Alright, so if we go ahead and click back on the My Site tab, you'll notice up on the top it actually shows your website with a orange Edit Site button. So we're going to click on Edit Site. Now this will load your website and it'll look exactly like what the public sees. The only difference is basically it may format it a little bit differently since it's kind of squishing it together to make room for all of these icons that are over here on the left hand side. And we're going to go over most of these just to show you how they work within the website itself. Now you'll notice as I scroll over this slideshow and over all these different little areas, a little blue line appears and it creates a box. Literally what this is, it's a text box that's been clicked and dragged from this area here down. Same thing with this is a photograph. And we're going to go over that here in just a moment. Now if we wanted to edit anything in this slideshow element that already exists, all we have to do is click on it, and it's going to pop up add or edit photos. Now I suggest that if you have a certain image that you want to replace, you just email it to us and ask us. That way we can put the correct size in there. Otherwise you may get one photo that's a little bit larger than this rectangular images that are appearing now. But anyway, when you go to add images to a slideshow, you just simply click on add edit photos, and it pops up with a box that shows the photos that are already in there. And the individual items that are in here, they have their own little settings. One is called a link, and what a link is, and this will work with text, with photographs, and we'll go over all of that. But when you click on a link, you can have a website URL. So if you wanted to punch in google.com, or here you select standard page, and then you would select somewhere within your list of web pages that are already on the website. And basically what this does, let's say under this women's eyewear section, if we want, as the images to scroll through, somebody to be able to click on women's, and it's going to take them to the women's page, we would click on the link button, standard page, and then select women's eyewear, and then just select out of it. Basically what that is doing now is once we publish the website, as it's scrolling through, when it clicks on, if somebody would click on that women's designer frames image, it's going to take them to the women's section within your own website. Now you can also add captions, or if you want to delete an individual photo, you just simply click on remove image. I'm going to go ahead and add the men's eyewear and click out of it. If we want to add any more photos, we'd simply just click on add photos, and it's going to open up folders within your website that you can you know, sit there and upload any photos, any files, anything that you need. All right, we're going to save that. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, now if we want to edit anything within this text field, all you have to do is click inside of the text field, and all of the options, just like Microsoft Word, pops up. You have bold, italicize, underline. You can increase or decrease the font size. You can highlight an individual font and change the color. And you can do any color under the rainbow. You can also create a link, which we already did with the photograph, but it works the same way with text. If I wanted eyewear to become a link, all I'd have to do is highlight it, click on the link button, and punch in a URL, or go back and punch in an actual standard page and just select something. Okay. You can also change the formatting. You can create bulleted and numbered list, and undo and redo. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move forward to one of the pages. We'll go to About Us. And I want to show you how you can add elements to the page. This element here is just a title element. This is just a divider element, a photograph, and then a text field. And you notice that in this case the photo is inside of the same box as the text. And we're going to go over that. So if I wanted to add a title to a page, all I have to do is left click on one of these elements and it'll highlight blue while I'm holding it down. And you notice that basically everywhere I drag this, a blue line appears. And that's going to indicate where it's going to drop that element once I release my left mouse. So let's say I want to put it on the very bottom. The blue line's going all the way across. I let go of it, and there we go. We now have the title element in our page. And I can click in here and I can, write any type of elements that I want, or titles that I want, excuse me. You can highlight it, change the color to any color under the rainbow, and you can create it as links or anything else that you need to do. Text works the exact same way. You click and drag it wherever you want it to go. And I'm going to copy some just random text. The great thing is you can actually go into a Word document. Let's say that you've typed up About Us section in Word. You can open up your Word document, highlight everything, copy it, click in here, and paste it right in. Alright, so if I wanted to add an image, I've got a couple options with images. Let's say that I just want to add one photograph, and I don't want it really the text to wrap around the photo. I just want it to be side by side. All I'd have to do is take the blue bar, make sure it's to one side of the text, left or right, release it, and it automatically formats the page to fit both elements with equal value, text field and the image field. I'm going to highlight or select and go ahead and upload one of these photographs. Let's say that we'll take one of your photos here. And you can see it's size, a lot larger than the text. You can fix that in a couple different ways. One, you can highlight over the divider line that's in the center, hold down your Shift key, and go ahead and left click, and then you just click and drag it left to right, and it's going to reformat the text around it. You can also go into the image and you can see that when you highlight over it, the blue line appears all the way around, and there's a little arrow or a little resize image block that's down here on the bottom right. you can click on it and resize the image that way as well. So let's say that if we have an element, and this works with all of them, that we want to get rid of, all we have to do is hit the red X. Delete, yes. And it'll automatically reformat the page with that image deselected. So let's say if we wanted the photograph to wrap inside of the text. Click on image, and instead of putting it beside of it, when I go over top of the text field, you notice the blue box appears. Release it, and it's going to put it inside. And again, you just upload a photograph. We'll just do the InView logo here. And now you can see as I resize this, the text automatically formats around the image. Okay? So we'll go ahead and delete that element. And we'll delete the title element. And what I want to show you is the gallery and the slideshow, which actually works really well when we go underneath, let's say, women's eyewear. Underneath women's eyewear, this is actually just a gallery element. That's all it is. Clicked and dragged gallery and dumped it right inside the page. And you click on it to upload the images the same way you did as an individual image. The difference is you can highlight several images. We'll do these 3. Hit open, and it'll just take it a few minutes depending on the photo size to upload and place all the photos in there. Now the great thing is every element that you bring in, just like when you clicked on text and the other advanced options popped up, it does the exact same thing out under gallery. When you click on gallery, you can add images, you can create more columns so that there's 4 or 5 photos across, 2 photos across, whatever you want to do. You can do the spacing, you can do captions on each photo obviously, and then you can go into advanced settings, which is the spacing between. You can add borders to them. And most of this is stuff that you can play around with. You're not going to break the website by going in and just kind of experimenting, see what you think. Alright, and we'll delete this element. And slideshow also works the exact same way. When you click and drag a slideshow, which is just like the one on the front page, you can add thumbnails to it if you'd like, or if you just want a simple slideshow with no thumbnails, you select that, hit continue, upload a few photos. And one thing I forgot to kind of cover a moment ago under the gallery works the same way under manage slideshow section. If I want to rearrange these, all I have to do is highlight over it, left click and drag it over and release it. And it's going to put them whatever order that you'd like them to be in. And again, this also gives you options for links, captions, or to delete an individual photo if you don't like it. Alright. And now, basically all these logos down here are just images. All it was a transparent PNG image that I removed the background. Select image, click and drag it down, dump it right in. That's the great thing about Weebly, is that we can build a completely custom website on the designer user interface, and then we can plug it in so that it makes it user friendly for you to be able to come in and make changes to things. Okay, so most of these pages all have the same similar info except for specials. Specials obviously is set up like a blog page. So when you click on it, you notice that some of these elements actually changed. It gives you other options now since you're within the blog page. But let's say that we want to, add a new section or a new June 2016 special. All we'd have to do is click on New Post, change the post title to June 2016 Specials. Click outside of it, and then it works the exact same way as the web page. I can click and drag a text field in here. I can put in my text, and I can even put in a photograph in here. And there you go. Then you can reformat it, resize it. You can do bulleted lists. You can do all kinds of different options. Now, if you want to edit individual options for your special, you'll notice down here on the bottom left hand it says post options. Basically, this is going to give you some options to allow comments. So if you don't want anybody to be able to comment or write any questions on there, you can hit closed. Or if you want it to be that they have to have approval before their comment appears, you can require approval. But we're going to leave this closed. And if you want to add different categories, you notice over on the right hand side, right now it doesn't have any categories. But if you wanted to have a specials category and a news category, if you wanted to be able to post local news, if you've been featured in the Chamber's articles, things like that, you can add your categories. And you can also set a scheduled time if you want to go ahead and plan out July, August, all the different future months. You can go ahead and actually schedule the time that they're going to appear on the website. All right. Now let's say that if we were finished with this, what we could do is actually click on the post option so it drops back down. And we are going to go ahead and post this. Now I have it on schedule right now, and that's fine. We'll schedule this one. And you notice it's not appearing yet since it hasn't been scheduled. But I'm going to click back in where it says scheduled. Click on that special. And I'm actually, instead of having a scheduled time, we're going to go ahead and post it immediately. And you can see that now we have the option to post. The great thing is when you post, once it gives you the URL, and it'll take it just a moment to pop up, you can actually copy this URL, copy it, and paste it directly into Facebook so that you're able to share that URL with folks online. Okay, now you can see that your URL has appeared. So if we were to click on this, it's going to take us within your website, but it'll say specials/June 2016 specials. We can actually copy that URL and paste it directly into our Facebook page, and that's going to allow viewers that are fans of your Facebook page to click on it, and it'll take them back to your website, which is a great way to push traffic. Okay, so we're going to go back into the site, and we're going to actually delete this since we no longer need it. So if we wanted to delete it, all we have to do is click inside of it, and we're going to go up here to the drop down arrow and delete post. Yes, I'm sure I want to delete it. And now you see that June no longer appears. Okay, the very last few things to go over is underneath Contact Us. You will see that this is just a text field that you can update all the text information, but there's also a map item over here. It was just a map item that was over here on the left-hand side that we can click and drag over, drop in, and when we actually click on the map, you can input your actual web address or your physical address, excuse me. You can zoom in, you can manage the width and the height of it, the positioning, and you can also do advanced display. So if you want a overview map attached to it as well, which this one's actually a little too small for it to appear, but if it's a larger map, you can do an overview map on there as well. All right, other than that, the only other thing that we really need to go over right now, these other elements are elements that are important, but none of them really apply to your website currently. So we're not going to worry about it for now, but you can play around with these elements. Like I said before, you're not going to break the website by clicking and dragging things in. Because the one great thing is as you're making updates to your site, nobody in the public is going to see any of these changes until you hit the orange publish button. So all of these different changes that I've made, let's say if we went back to the About Us page, and if I still had all that, all the element boxes that were down on the bottom, if they were still there, the public would not see that until I actually make it live and publish it. All right, well, I think that's going to take care of the tutorial for you. There are some other elements like newsletter and or contact forms that we can go over in the future if that's something that you need, but currently it doesn't apply to your website. But hopefully this tutorial will kind of show you how to get in there and get your hands dirty. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, drop us an email, either one, and hopefully this video will guide you at least to get started. But I appreciate it. Thank you for your business, and I'm glad that we got to work together.